I say welcome? Welcome to the Real Riff podcast. My name is Bill Markey.
My name is Thomas Angelo.
And we've got a fun one for you this week.
Very fun. Very fucking fun episode today.
Yeah, because we are talking about Him. And who is Him? Him is a movie. It is definitely a movie. So Him is a movie directed by Justin Tipping, co-written by Skip. I don't know. I can't say his last name. It starts with a B. It is produced by
it's Skip Bronke, right?
Skip Bronke. Okay, I'm sorry. It was produced by Jordan Peele's Monkey Paw Productions, distributed by...
Well, it was written by three people. Skip Bronke, Zach Adlers, and Justin Tipping.
Oh. Well, fuck me and my notes. I guess I wrote those out too quick. Shows you how much I care about this movie. Again, it is produced by Jordan Peele's Monkey Paw Productions. It is not... We'll get into that. It's distributed by Universal. It stars Marlon Wayans, Tariq Withers, Julia Fox, and Tim
Heidecker.
This is about a young and up-and-coming football player who's training at this compound of an aging, nearly retired quarterback, and the craziness that ensues with it. The movie just came out on September 18th. Its budget is $27 million, and the box office, as of recently, is $7 million.
Oof.
So, before I let Tommy loose on this one, just worth covering that one thing, just in general, a mistake people are making about this film, and that even websites are making, is they're making it seem like this is Jordan Peele's movie, and it's just produced by Monkey Paw. Like, I even want to remind people of that, because Jordan Peele, I wonder if Jordan Peele's like, I couldn't get fucking weapons, but I got this.
Yeah. So he has no creative control over this movie, at least from what we like. From a realistic standpoint, he probably didn't have any creative control over this, because I don't think he'd want to sidestep into anybody else's projects. But him and his team believed in this movie enough to finance it.
I kept thinking of that.
Yeah. So
as
that's
I was watching it.
That's where I'm a little fucking confused. But we'll get into it when we can really get into the spoilers. But
and do we have to go free?
Yeah, we do.
You want to? Okay, we should stick to the format. All right, so start us off with some spoiler free. What are some thoughts?
This movie's not good, but what's sad about it is there was clearly a lot of effort by the team of filmmakers on this project. From the opening prologue, we get a young Cameron Cade, played by Tariq Withers. The older version's played by Tariq Withers, but we get it from a young age. His childhood home is stacked deck with like cool little Easter eggs and production design details and all these little niche things. There's almost like an altar to this football team, the Saviors, and to Isaiah White, who's this quarterback they worship, played by Marlon Wayans. But it's like everything that's going on in this house like feels so detailed, feels so specific. It feels really cool. What's wrong with this movie is just the fundamental writing of it. And you know, sometimes when you have multiple screenwriters, they can churn out a cool project, but this is an example of this movie feels like it's going in a whole lot of million different directions, and ultimately it just ends up being a very boring and tired subgenre of movies, which I won't spoil yet if you don't know, but this movie just becomes what a lot of modern horror movies are nowadays, and that's the sad fact. But it's interesting is it could have been a lot more subversive. I thought it was going to be a lot more subversive and comedic, and the ending does lean into this like very juvenile comedy that I don't like. But this movie felt like it was written by three different people while you're watching it, and then when you learn that it is written by three different people, it makes a lot of sense.
Great point.
You know what I mean?
Great point.
But that isn't to say that there's a lot of really cool style in this movie. I mean, cinematography by Kira Kelly, there's some pretty dope shots in here. The editing, like there's a lot of cool editing tricks. Like there is this like X-ray CGI effect, which I know Bill's not a fan of. If it was executed well and if it fit in the story well, it would have been cool. Like it would have earned some style points. The music is by Bobby Krilic. Who do we know that Bobby Krilic's worked with before? Ari Aster. Bobby Krilic's very good at making music. And the music doesn't really stand out here. There's a lot of crazy visuals on screen that are really kind of beating out the music. But in a vacuum.
Yeah, we got Lemonade by Gucci Mane at some point.
Yeah.
Which
so
was such a weird.
Yeah.
I kind of liked it.
So, but here's the thing. In a vacuum, the filmmaking of this movie is good. In a vacuum. In this particular movie with this particular writing, it doesn't fit. It doesn't work. It doesn't even work towards the characters or who they are. I don't even think the actors themselves really know who these characters are inside and out. And it doesn't feel like the writers do either.
I am making so many notes because this movie is now coming back to me more and more. I have so many questions for you. This is going to be a longer episode than I thought.
No, it's cool. I love that.
Yeah.
I appreciate Marlon Wayans' performance. I appreciate it. He's the only person in this movie that feels like he knows what type of movie he's in to an extent. It feels like he had conversations with like Justin Tipping's side of the things with like the directing and the writing. It feels like he's playing into this realm where he wants to almost make fun of this particular subgenre of modern horror. And it feels like Marlon Wayans is kind of playing into that. He's hamming it up. Like it's a very hammy performance.
I won't say, but
it's not What's up?
Subgenre. I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm saying I won't say what it is. But you're talking about the subgenre of the thing that we've been seeing.
Yes.
Over and over.
Yes. Look to Opus or look to Midsummer. Hint, hint. But
and all the way back to the Wicker Man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hint, hint. But
yeah. Sorry.
Marlon Wayans. I'm waiting for his smashing machine. I'm waiting for his resurgence role. I mean, Requiem for a Dream, he's great in that, but I'm waiting for his resurgence. And I know they're redoing Scary Movie 6 or whatever, and I'm excited for that. Like, I love those movies. Like, I'd like to just get high and watch those. But I'm waiting for his, like, resurgence into drama, because he has the chops. It almost, like, knows what he's doing in this movie, but it almost feels like he doesn't understand, like, truly who his character is inside and out. But he almost, like, knows what performance style he has to go for, and so he's just hamming it up. He's playing a hammy kind of cultish leader, but there's nothing else really to it, you know? And I think ultimately, you know, Tyreek Withers, I actually like Tyreek Withers in this one episode of Atlanta, which is one of my favorite TV shows. He's really great in this one episode of season 3, because season 3 of Atlanta is more of an anthology season. But he's very flat in this movie. He's very flat, washboard, nothing really. He's not someone that we can latch onto. And
he
also
always has this stare throughout the film.
Yeah, and also in terms of just boring writing, we don't even see how good he is at the game of football until very later into the film. It's just when we meet him, he's just like, he's the best. He's the best. Everyone just says he's the best. That's boring. Like, show me why I should believe that he's the best. Show me why I should believe that he's going to be the next GOAT.
We never see footage of him actually playing football.
Nope.
Like, actually
it just feels lazy. It just feels like a lazy way to kickstart this plot. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. It's just kind of boring, and it's very flat, and you get like weird little side characters like Julia Fox as Elsie White, Isaiah's wife, and it's just like she's just weird for the sake of being weird, and like it has lines that aren't even funny. It's like this movie doesn't know when it's like, doesn't really know what it wants to be like, doesn't want to lean into full hammy comedy, doesn't want to lean into something that's actually scary. But what's the issue with it is when the movie is leaning into comedy, when the movie is leaning into scariness, it's not scary, it's not it's not funny. That's the issue. Even when it's confused on what it is, it still can't get anything right. That's where this movie ultimately fails. The one standout of this film to me is Marlon Wayans, and I can't even say that's enough for it to be a standout. It's unfortunately that this movie just doesn't work. I don't really see what Jordan Peele saw in this movie, and I do not recommend that you go see this in theaters.
I'm gonna go watch it. Couldn't figure out like if I was just wanting to like what Marlon Wayans was doing, or if I actually thought he was really good. And I think it's because there's times where, like, I don't know, like his character just shifts all over the place. I understand that's kind of the character is erratic, but maybe I wanted just one steady tone from him.
But is it erratic, or is it just like there's three different people writing this character and they all have different visions of this character?
It's like he's jumping, and like there's a scene that really didn't sit well with me, and it's not because of the imagery, but the way that he plays with this one particular weapon. And it's just so, I'm like, I get it. I get it. He's a lunatic. You don't have to make him go and do all this weird shit while he's dressed up as a fuzzy teddy bear.
Like, to me, it was just reminding me of John Malkovich just doing weird shit to be weird in Opus.
I don't know about you. If I can pick, and this isn't a spoiler, if I could pick one, and I'll have the same, I'm going to throw it back to you as a question. If you can pick one version, I'll tell you mine. One version of Marlon Wayans in this film you want. I want the version of him that is sitting with Cade in the sauna.
Because that's the best scene of dialogue in the entire film. Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
Even the one who's on the field with him training, where he's still, to me, that same guy in the sauna. He's just ramped up because he's on the field. He's training. They're doing some wild shit with a guy eating footballs to the face. Not a spoiler. It's in the trailer. But then there's other parts where he's just so nuts. And I'm like, well, that seems like he's in a different movie during those scenes. And it's like, maybe that's why I had a hard time like, I love Marlon Wayans, but maybe I think you hit the nail on the head. I was like, I wish there was just one version of him.
If you're throwing it back to me, it is that scene of him in the sauna. I think that's the best scene in the entire movie. Where that scene goes by the end fucking sucks. But
that scene,
so stupid. It's so stupid. Whatever. There's an actual like semi-good dialogue exchange in that sauna between the two main characters, and it's like, okay, you can kind of learn who Marlon Wayans' character is in there a bit more. But then where his character goes by the end of the film, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. It's unfortunately this movie just does not work on any level.
And I really kept thinking during the film, and you're right, I was bored by this movie.
I was bored too. This is the first time I think I really went on my phone in a while during a movie, because I had stuff going on of like college. I had to answer messages and stuff. I actually just went on my phone during a certain point because I had shit to do, and this was so boring.
That is so funny you say that, because I swear to God, I thought to myself, am I going to just go on my phone right now? I was in a theater on opening night opening night, I guess, is Thursday, whatever. But Friday when it came out, there was only 5 other people in the theater.
There was only 3 or 4 other people in my theater.
And this is a movie that the marketing doubled down on Jordan Peele's name being attached to it. One of the biggest names in horror and just in general when it comes to film right now. And there was 5, and I was I was already tired, shocker, going into the movie, but I was fighting to stay awake. And there is a scene where it got my adrenaline going, where they're training, and the one dude is, we'll get into it. That scene was so like guttural, where I was like, oh, and it woke me up. And I was like, if they can keep this momentum up, then all right. But then like it just goes back.
It doesn't even matter. None of the other things matter to me. It's just because Cameron Cade is not an interesting protagonist to follow.
No,
he's the most basic bitch protagonist ever, and it's just not interesting.
And they do things with him where he begins to get different shifts in the film, but it's like I feel like they're not earned. Like at the end, he turns into this other person. I'm like, he's this fucking guy now. I'm like, he's suddenly John Wick. The
ending of this film is an entirely different short film. It doesn't even connect to the rest of the film and the other tones. It doesn't. This movie's god awful, dude. Like, this is really bad. This is like one of the biggest stinkers of the year.
This for me is without a doubt the worst movie I've seen this year.
I don't know if I could say that, because there's at least better filmmaking in this than some of my other biggest stinkers of the year. But
no, like I'm sorry, I'm saying no for me. Like, I thought highest to lowest, Opus. No, I like Opus better. Opus had me a little more than like this movie. I was a little more curious with Opus. There was actually some.
I don't even remember half of Opus. To me, this movie has the same shit that Opus was doing, though. Where like in Opus, where the scene where they're asking AO to like, like, oh, like make sure she's like clean shaven down
Yeah.
there. Like, again, this is this stupid weird shit happening for it to happen. And it's like people look at the movies of Ari Aster and Jordan Peele and they mistakenly try and copy the eerie tones and the eerie actions,
Yeah.
because in Ari and Jordan's film, the weird shit that happens are tied to the characters and the plot. But in these other, like when it's written by a lesser screenwriter, it's just happening to happen.
Yep.
And that's why it's bad.
There's even a piece of imagery that also, the fucking water is so big that I want one that's bigger. Like I would, like, you know what I want to do? Is one day I like want to be like I like want to hold up one of those jugs you see in like offices and it's just like,
Just drink it. There you go.
there's one scene to me that if I can not sum up the movie, but there's one scene that really, really stuck with me, and not in a good way. It's a callback to an injury that they showed that almost ended Marlon Wayans' career. And it is believe what they call a compound fracture in real life, if I remember, which is where a bone protrudes through the skin. And first of all, he ain't fucking coming back from that. That's nearly the Joel, if I remember correctly, that is nearly the Joe Theismann break, which ended his career. And I know they show that, I think Lawrence Taylor caused that. There's football fans who are like, you fucking idiot, you're wrong. I think I'm right. I think it's the Theismann was Lawrence Taylor. That was done. That injury is so fucking bad. And it's not like the reality of he wouldn't come back from that. I felt like the imagery of that was just put there to like gross us out or make us go, oh shit. But I'm just like,
There's a lot of images in this film where like they weirdly cut like for 3 seconds like a weird little image in.
yeah.
And it's just like, why? Like, who's seeing that? What is that? Is that just a dreamlike image? It doesn't work on any level. It's not scary. It's not funny. It's not creepy. It's not eerie. It's just stupid. It's just there to be there. It's stupid.
Well,
I really can't recommend this movie to anyone.
we feel the same way because there were scenes where I thought there's a scene where Cameron Cave's walking in a dark hallway and he's looking through doorways and you see somebody running. And I was thinking, any other movie like Hereditary, I would have been probably terrified during that scene. When it got to that scene with him, remember the football is rolling down the hallway? I thought, this is not going to probably be scary. Like, I already felt at that point, I just knew, like, this isn't going to be scary.
It's also because we don't care about what happens to Cameron.
Nope.
We don't care about him. So why should we be scared? In Hereditary, we actually kind of end up caring about Alex Wolff's character.
Yeah.
So when that final sequence happens in that movie, you're like on the edge of your seat,
Yep. Do you want to get into the spoiler section?
We can get into the spoilers now, but ultimately, I just can't recommend this one to you. It's really not great. There's nothing to write home about this film. I just think it fails on every level. And what's sad about it is Justin Tipping, this is his second film, and Jordan Peele gave him a sizable budget. 27 mil is sizable for a young director. And this is just going to hurt that idea of that, like, we should be giving young, inexperienced directors a chance. This is just a dud. I can't really recommend it to you guys. It just makes me sad, honestly. I don't want this movie to fail. I don't want to see a young, up-and-coming director fail, but this is just what it is. I have to be honest.
Do you know off the top of your head what his other movie was?
Kicks. It was some sort of other drama.
Soccer horror?
Not a horror, no.
So Kicks. But so we're in the spoiler section.
Yeah, so if you want to go check this out still, just for the fun of the game, we're getting into spoilers.
When ultimately, I remember, and this is just again like the vibe of how some of these movies go now. I sat there and I just went, "Oh fuck, it's another cult movie." Like, and I was just so.
As soon as Cameron pulls into the compound and you see the fans and the very on the nose horn devil thing, it's so designated. It's just like I know where this movie is now.
This just goes way over the top, though. Like where it goes at the ending, which we'll get to. I mean, this goes.
It's quite literally one of the worst film endings I've probably ever seen.
It was awful. Like, it was not. The ending was just god awful, and the scene to go back to Marlon Wayans for a second, there's, I think this movie is summed up for me in two scenes. There's the scene in the sauna that the beginning of the scene, not even the whole scene, is pretty powerful.
To a
And
certain
then,
extent, yeah.
yeah, like and then the, when the woman comes from under the bench, that should be frightening. I was like, oh shit. I went, how the fuck did she get in there?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, and what? And then like the where that
The little
scene
naked
goes,
minions.
yeah. And where at that point, it's what you said before. You were alluding to this. I thought, okay, is this actually happening? Like Marlon Wayans throws her 10. It's like a Arnold Schwarzenegger in Jingle All the Way. He grabs her by the throat, which has a weird cut where I'm like, does he have her by the throat? What's going on here?
Is he full on like making out with her, or is like
I, I can't tell at times. Like even in the beginning, when he's on the field or something, he stands up and the mascot hits him. Was that real?
it was real? It was.
But,
And also the whole twist of this movie being that like his dad like sacrificed everything for this whole like thing to start.
yeah, his dad sacrificed what?
Like
Himself so he can go there?
I think so. I think that was the whole like theme. And why do they sacrifice the one doctor? And
Oh, it was played by Jim Jeffries.
yeah,
What a weird casting that was. I mean, Jim Jeffries, I've seen a little bit of his stand-up. I did not understand. I'm like, is this Jim Jeffries trying to jump into a second part of his career? I don't think Jim Jeffries was well casted.
no, this there's this movie goes in so many directions, and there's like so many shots where I don't understand what the timeline, or like if it's real or if it's not. And maybe that's the whole bit, like, oh, you don't know what's real or not. He's like in this whole like dream like cult haze. Fuck that. There's a scene where he's like running outside and he passes out, and then one of those evil mascots comes over and like kills him, and then he wakes back up. And it's like, why is he having a nightmare about something that actually does exist? But he hasn't seen what that actual thing that exists is. That logic doesn't make sense.
Right.
Unless that's, you could say it's the whole supernatural thing, because the other final twist of the movie is that this whole thing is supernatural. I don't fucking know, man. But there's no logic to it. Even skipping far ahead.
Yeah.
How does so Cameron Cade comes across Isaiah White in the room, and they have their final brawl. But then that just leads to Cameron Cade walking out the tunnel into the signing thing. So what was the logic of that? Where was the tunnel? Where was like, that wasn't set up. Like he just randomly comes across Isaiah in that room. How does that lead into the signing ceremony? It doesn't make any sense. There's no logic to it. It's just things are just fucking happening. It's like this felt like a first fucking draft of a movie. Like it doesn't even logically continue on to the next thing. And then let's talk about that fight scene. The camera's just fucking shaking. I could recreate that same effect on Premiere Pro. This camera shake.
I wanted to ask you about when I said I felt like I saw the movie before you. I went on so usually for those that follow our Instagram page, when you and me are together, we do fresh out of the theater reactions. And I've been doing a couple alone since you're back at school. And I didn't do it for this movie, and then I got home and I'm like, fuck it, I'll do it. And then we spoke about it. And we texted a little bit about it, and I said I felt like it was lazy. And the points where, and maybe, I don't know, you can, not maybe, you can definitely lend something to this, or I just want to get your opinion on it. Like the scenes where, and they do this, there's a scene where things are getting intense on the football field. I think when he's passing, guys are running, he's passing, he's running. There's so many up close shots that I feel like, no, let me see the action. I think you're being lazy by just showing me the quick, like the headshot, like, you're getting so tight on his face. I'm like, I think are you being lazy because you're not spending the money?
I don't think it's that. I think it was like a style choice, but even that, it doesn't really work.
Like it.
Yeah, it doesn't really work. There's so many things that just like do not work. Like Julia Fox's whole like butt orgasm joke gem thing, like that was stupid.
I didn't like
Again, like it feels like there's like again, like 5 different people writing this movie. It's like there's like 5 different visions of what this should be. Like I really thought by the end of this, it was gonna become like a almost parody, like a parody of cult movies that's kind of making fun of cult movies. But then there's parts of this movie that really heavily lean into the cult horror movie, like horror and try and be scary, but it's not scary. It just doesn't make sense. But the one scene that I'd say is maybe a bit effective is when he's doing the practice things, and every time that he messes up, the one guy gets the football launched in his face. That felt like a decent idea for like a cult horror movie. But what doesn't work is just the abundance of these movies, and all of them feel so messy. I was describing it to my roommates like this. It feels like the cult horror movie subgenre is like a virus, and this virus is just going from each different like facet of life, like musicians, religion, sports, and let's just drop the cult virus in each of these and see what happens. It doesn't work all the time, and I think screenwriters need to start realizing that it's messy. It doesn't work. In this movie, I think this movie tries to be edgy and like cool and dreamlike by throwing in like those random shots of like creepy things, like people in masks for 3 seconds and who aren't really there or whatnot, to like be scary or to be edgy and to make it wholly dreamlike. But it just doesn't make sense. And that doesn't work when we don't care about Cameron's character. And also, let's talk about Cameron's character and the writing. Halfway through the movie, he like starts to become like evil and is like kind of like working under Marlon Wayans, like doing like evil things, and like really, you think he kills somebody at one point, really, when he knocks that guy out. It almost seems like that guy's dead.
It's great.
So by the end of the film, when he like turns against the cult, it just feels like there's too many flip-flops back and forth. It's like choose an avenue, you know?
5 minutes before he seemingly kills them all, it's like, okay, I remember thinking, are they going somewhere? Because he's becoming Marlon Wayans. He's like partying with them. He's embracing like living hard, being psychotic.
He literally drinks the wine, the blood thing, whatever.
Yeah. He's becoming psychotic now. But then suddenly minutes later, he has this, or whatever it is, he has this coming to Jesus moment where now he's got to stop them.
Yeah. And there's also like weird shots of like when he's at the party of him like throwing up, but it's like a chain that's coming out of his mouth. Why? Like it's not. No, I don't know. It just doesn't work.
No.
It doesn't fucking work.
Like even the scene when they're fighting, which what a horrible fight scene. Like
so bad. It might be one of the worst.
Like Marlon at one point, they showed the skeleton shot, the X-ray vision, whatever, and he's grabbing Cameron Cade, and from when they show Marlon Wayans' X-ray, there's blood going down his face. So
and then when they cut back, there's no blood.
He's not bleeding.
It makes no sense.
He's not bleeding. Yeah.
And God, one of the worst lines, dude.
What is it?
When he's like, what's the opposite of a savior? A mascot. Nothing. I literally felt nothing. I literally felt I could feel the fucking wind in the theater more than I felt that fucking line reading. It was so bad. It was so outrageously bad.
Yeah, I think I was waiting for something like a good line there too, if I remember correctly. I just thought, what?
And like I could see people being like, oh well, if you look back at the beginning of the movie, all the mascots who were like evil cult members, like they were on the altar and like it was all foreshadowing. And it's like, again, I could praise the production design, I can praise the aspects of the filmmaking, but if the writing and the story and the acting's not good, then that doesn't work. Unfortunately, all those fucking heroes in the production design department, in the cinematography and camera department, they all go unsung because the movie's just not good from a story standpoint, and that's the sad part. Because I do genuinely think in a vacuum the filmmaking's good. It just doesn't work here.
The part that I was saying that in the spoiler-free part that I really I'm like, what is happening here? Is when after like the big party, Wayans has the gun. Mm-hmm. He's like, did you fuck her?
Did you fuck her?
And like, he cocks the gun, and then it just goes so over the top with him playing with the gun to the head, gun in the mouth. He's like chewing on the gun. Then he's putting the gun to his face. I'm just like,
yeah, and he's like,
dude, what about?
What does he say? He's like, oh, sorry, I just get a little intense, or like things like that. It's just like, okay. And To me, it makes no sense that Cameron wouldn't like realize the weird shit that was going on sooner and like get the fuck out. In the second day, I actually think it's like the first day he's there, the second day he's there, they just start injecting him with something. And I guess
Yeah, they don't say what that
I
is.
no, I think it was like his. I think it was Isaiah's blood.
Oh, yeah. Actually, they do reference. I think Jim Jeffries tells him
Yeah, it
it's his blood.
fucking bad, like stupid
It,
for like stupid
it's the
main character again. And people are gonna try and make the argument, well, like, oh well, he wants to be the goat. He's gonna do whatever it takes. It's like, I think Cameron would have been weirded out by what was going on here. It makes no sense.
the blood of the goat.
And again, it's these things with these cult movies where it's like they show their hand too early. But even from a writing standpoint, it's really hard in a cult movie not to show your hand early. And that's why most of these movies just don't work.
I mean, sorry. I mean, literally, that's how I felt during the movie. It's also past 1 in the morning for me here on the East Coast. Well, it's 12 o'clock for you too,
Yeah.
or past midnight. But like, it's funny. I don't even remember, and I saw this movie 24 hours ago, like or whatever it was, and I didn't remember like the altar with the cult, but they fucking go into that so hard. They even say when he drives up to the compound, and they don't they say this can get a little culty around here or something.
The dialogue is so bad. Okay, let's get into some of the dialogue and the ending. Let's just get into the ending of the film so we can wrap this shit up.
I can't wait till the ending.
So somehow Cameron ends up walking out into this field out of the tunnel. Some sort of like weird like goat elephant imagery there. I don't really fucking know. Whatever. He walks out and there's people playing drums, there's these cheerleaders. It feels like a glorified music video by some edgy like rapper. It looks so stupid.
It does.
And
his arm severely broken.
yeah, and he's like moving like with his arm broken and shit. Whatever. It ends up that like his manager and the owner of the football team and Isaiah's wife and all of them, oh, guess what? They're all evil. Oh, what a fucking shocker. They're all part of the cult. They're all this leader. And they're all working towards some supernatural higher power, probably Satan bullshit. That's like starting this cyclical cycle of creating one goat. That's why there can only be one greatest of all time. Because it's a cult that chooses them. What this lazy idea. Anyways, again, like in a vacuum, it's a cool idea. Like, oh, goat, greatest of all time, devil, paganism, goat. Like it seems like cool symbolism, but it's just not executed well. That's the issue. All these ideas in a vacuum are kind of cool. It's just not executed well.
But
so Isaiah gets offered a contract. He refuses it. He goes around and he starts killing all the members of the cult. First of all, he doesn't even kill Julia Fox because she just falls and accidentally stabs herself, which is added to the stupidity of the scene. It was so stupid. And I think it was trying to be funny, but it's just not funny. I just think it's stupid.
But
The CGI blood and the gore in this scene genuinely feels like it was edited in a 2012 video on YouTube. When Tim Heidecker's character explodes at the end and there's a mist of blood, it looks like a green screen YouTube 2013 effect. It looks so bad, which takes away from it trying to be funny or serious or anything. It just doesn't work. And then Cameron Cage just walks off, and I guess he's just killed all these people now, and he's refused to be the GOAT, even though the entire movie was him giving in to being the GOAT. Whatever. I guess family was more important. Whatever. It doesn't really make any sense. He just becomes a killer. He massacres all these people.
easily too.
Very easily too, with a broken arm. He overpowers all these people who all have all these weapons. It just becomes this stylized, almost shitty Tarantino-esque action scene, and it ends on such a whimper. The jets are flying overhead. Nothing makes sense. There's no sort of inherent logic to the movie. It's just like, it's so juvenile. It's so stupid. It's so, I don't know. Let's see what you think about this, because I'm done talking about it.
So I assume they're all just worshiping Satan. And the scene where is it Tim Heidecker, he gets dragged.
He's like, I'll suck your dick, Cameron. I'll suck your dick.
He gets dragged over the that culty symbol that we've all seen before, and I guess it's Satan just killing him. So I'm like, wait, these people were aware that the invisible presence of Satan is present for the signing. So when he exploded at the end, I was like, oh no. Like I was like, when they drag him, that the
So why
invisible
doesn't
entity,
Satan have any control over Cameron? I guess because he
yeah.
hasn't signed the deal. I don't know, but whatever.
Um, when she slips on the knife, I was like, no. It
So
reminds
stupid.
now I think it reminds me of the ease in which Michael Myers killed the town people in like Halloween or whatever. And they just zoom in on one person looking, and then boom, his head's cut off.
Oh,
The
Halloween Kill.
next,
You're thinking about
yeah,
Halloween Kills.
yeah. The next person, boom. It's like, did people just stop defending themselves? Like,
Yeah.
so they're not protect. They worship Satan, but they're not protected by Satan.
Yeah.
He's like, well, he didn't sign the contract, so I can't help you guys. Now I got to take it out on you. Like, wait a minute, haven't you guys been worshiping him? Like, how about he's the one that gets fucked over?
I I guess because he didn't sign the deal, that Satan has no control over him yet. Everything just feels so out of left field. The tones are all over the place. I couldn't choose one thing. When it was trying to, the only time this movie was funny was when it was trying to be scary, and the only times this movie was scary was never. So it doesn't work. It doesn't work on any level. The ending sucked. The acting was pretty bad. I thought Marlon Wayans hamming it up was kind of fun for at least the movie. It got me through it a little bit.
Even when at one point they removed this mascot head and boom, Jim Jeffries has been killed.
Yep.
I was like, oh.
It says sacrifice. First of all, it's building up like the 7 days, almost like the 7 days of creation, whatever religious bullshit themes you want to get into. It doesn't. We don't even get to a seventh day. It says day 6 sacrifice. They just dropped the gimmick. There's no day 7. Like they just
Day 7 was him supposed to be.
but it doesn't like say it. Like it just drops the gimmick. The whole editing gimmick is just dropped.
True.
It can't even like fulfill on that. It's bad. It is bad.
Dang. I'm trying to see if there's any other.
Yeah. What other? You said you had some questions for me.
Okay. No, we've what I wrote down. I mean, we like talked about. I want to pick your brain about the filmmaking. You talked about that. But I felt that. I felt the film, the lazy, that shaky camera. Like we just saw. There's a shot in Weapons where Alden Ehrenreich is. I think it's when he's on top of Austin. Yeah, it's when he's got the shotgun to Austin Abrams in the woods, and the scene has this intense. The camera is.
But see, they replicated that. That was actual handheld work. That's what that was. I don't think that was like a CGI effect. Like this was an after post edits effect of like shakiness. Like I could recreate that in Premiere Pro.
Right. Like in that scene though, it was in Weapons. It was so. It worked so well. It made me anxious.
It feels like that gun's gonna go off.
Yeah. On top of that, Alden Ehrenreich's acting, and like to then capture that tense stress moment. In this, I was just like, I didn't like it. I was like, this is weird looking. I don't like this. There's just what you said. There's just so many things in this movie that I couldn't figure out what was going on. I couldn't follow the fucking movie. Like, and when I was following it, then they did something. I'm like, oh, maybe I'm not following this well. Like, it was just such a confusing time. And it felt so much longer than an hour and 36 minutes.
Oh yeah, the 96-minute runtime was not felt. It felt way longer.
Some kid went on his phone in front of me, and I just wanted to say, like, I happened to see what time it was, and I saw like a 5:30. It was like, so with preview starts at 6. It said 7 o'clock, and I was like, no fucking way it's been an hour. Like, I was like, I would have guessed the movie's almost over. But it just fucking drags and drags. Even the scene when they're shooting out in the outside range, I was like, so there's a dead body with the mascot, right? But I'm like, where'd it come from? Who is it? Is that one of the players? Like, it's just so fucking out there. It wants.
And there's
to be
this
something.
useless dialogue too. It's like Cameron's like, that girl I almost killed last night, and like Cameron doesn't even think it's weird that he almost killed a girl last night. Like he doesn't think it's weird. And then
Yeah.
Isaiah's like, oh, what girl? And then 3 seconds later, he's like, oh yeah, that girl. Like, what is the point of that dialogue exchange? What the fuck is the point of that?
That's true.
Again, my final consensus of this film, the filmmaking itself from the full filmmaking team in a vacuum is pretty good. The directorial vision and just the 3 writers just kind of failed on that front. But the actual filmmaking, cinematography, music, editing, like it's not horrible. Like in a vacuum, it's pretty good. It just doesn't work to motivate the characters, the stories, or anything. Performances are mostly lackluster. Again, Marlon Wayans hamming it up a bit's a bit fun. Ultimately, this film just kind of fails. Box office wise, it's failing. I can't recommend this movie to anybody. This wasn't for me. This wasn't anything. It failed. I think this movie is just a failure.
I thought like when the trailers hit, I'm getting like the Uncut Gems feel, where it's like when I saw the trailer, I thought my brain goes, maybe this is his Marlon's Uncut Gems, like his Sandler performance. And then I watched, I was like, no, it's not.
It's just a messy, boring cult subgenre movie. I'm gonna forget this in a week, just like I forgot Opus in a week.
Yeah, that's true. Do you want to go into the real riffs? What the riff rating?
The Riff rating.
Yeah, the riff rating. I'm giving it 1.
I'll give it a 2.
Yeah,
I'll give it like a 2 or a 3. I'll give it a 2.
1. I don't think I could ever give a movie a 0. But
like the filmmaking is pretty good for me to be like, oh, I could give this a 2 or a 3, but the story's not good enough to get a 4 or a 5.
100%. I mean, I have people that actually, I saw a couple people at my job say, like my boss, and she was like, so that movie sucked, huh? She saw my review, like my little, fresh out of the theater thing. I was like, it wasn't good. Like, I remember walking out of the theater, there was like 4 kids, whatever, in their 20s, and I looked at them, I go, well, that fucking sucked. And then they're like, yeah, that was weird, but that wasn't very good, was it? Like, even the crowd I was with, it was like these young kids. They looked like they probably played ball back in the day, or still are. And they were just bored. When the one kid got on his phone, I wasn't bothered. That usually bothers me.
I won't lie. I went on my phone for like 2 minutes in this movie.
I told you in a text, I thought to myself, like, I knew I wouldn't do this, but I thought, what if I left this movie right now? Like, I wouldn't do that to a movie, but I actually thought, like, would it be a big deal? And then we have the podcast and whatnot, but still, I literally, that crossed my mind. I was like, well, I could think of better shit I could do with my time. But yeah, I'm giving it a 1.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 2.
Yeah, this I have no problem saying. It just sucks because this, people work on these things that have nothing to do with this movie being bad. So
I think Fantastic Four is a better movie than this.
Well, yeah, I just assumed you were going to at least give it that. Give Fantastic Four the edge over this one.
Yeah.
And it was
I forget, what did I give Fantastic Four? Like a 3 or a 4?
4.
Yeah.
4. Like, because the trailer for this movie had me so pumped up. And then I saw it, and I was like, nope. Somebody else I know was like, oh, yeah, I was going to see it, but then I saw the quick reaction you did, and I didn't want to see it now.
But that's kind of what our job here is. We're recommending movies to people.
Yeah. So I don't have anything to add to this movie.
That is it. You're at a 1, I'm at a 2. That's it for him.
So we average 1.5, I think. I don't even know. But yeah, so don't go see him. So
this is all you need with him.
It ain't worth it. So please, though, despite us shitting all over this movie, do not forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, 5-star ratings, word of mouth. Go find somebody in the street, grab them by the face, and just say, whether or not you know them, grab them by the earlobes and stretch them like Megan stretched that kid's earlobe in Megan 1, and say, fucking watch the Real Riff podcast. So at least do that.
Okay, then.
Stand in front of a football machine and let the thing hit you in the fucking head if you like this movie.
Okay.
This is awesome.
Thank you for that. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening.
That's it. I am Bill Markey.
I'm Angelo. See you guys next time.